There's two changes. One's bad and one is good. Hey guys, there are two changes that I forgot to mention. I've covered pretty much every aspect of the Season 9 update. It's a great update. It's one of the best we've ever seen, and it follows up two other good updates, making this the first time, I think, in Frostborn history that that there's been three good updates in a row. At least, people have different opinions on updates, but generally, I would say most people like the last three updates, and there has always been, usually every other one, but every once in a while we've gotten two in a row. There's always been an update that just most players say, wow, that was a bad move for Frostborn. Some of the more famous ones are the horse update. When mounts first came out, we were very disappointed. We had just had two great updates, and we thought mounts was going to be a great update. And it's not that, looking back, I'm like, man, there's some things that weren't that bad looking back. But at the time, we hated the mounts update because it was so, it just reminded us of the last day on Earth. True friend. The mounts were slow. I don't know if y'all remember that, but the mounts were so slow back then. It was like you barely increased your movement speed. They fixed that pretty quickly within a week. And then the grind was still rough. It was like free-to-play players going to take them forever. But then when seasons came out, it was like, oh, okay, this is... And then when the winner... which I don't even do the Jotunheim quest, but if I was a truly free-to-play player, I'd be hitting those Jotunheim quests every single day, getting those. I think it's like the equivalent of 2 horses a day. It's a lot. It's unbelievable how many horses you can get a day. It really increases the how fast you can get level 4 animals, and honestly, I regret that I don't do it. If they had a pay option, I would, but I'm glad they don't. It's a really, Jotunheim is very free to play friendly. Get those horses. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go watch my videos on Jotunheim. You can get a lot of horses. Anyways, that's just one example of how it was like good update, crash update, and then there was another. There's been several where it's like they had, level 4 classes, and we're like, no, so. This is the first time they've had 3 updates that most players say, wow, these were great updates. They didn't change anything. But there was 2 changes that I didn't cover in Season 9 that I'm going to cover in this video. One's bad and one is good. So I'm going to start off with the bad one because I hate talking about bad changes. The bad change is that the golems' days were set to 7 days. And this was not in the beginning of Season 9. This is with that little patch update, a server update. That was amazing, by the way. I don't know if y'all remember that. Let me remind everyone how amazing it was. It was this change right here where they took all of our feedback and said, we're going to give you 30 free season points just for going into the outpost and getting out alive. We're going to give you 7 tries a day. We're going to improve the matchmaking system. We're going to increase the rewards, and we're going to allow Borderlands stones to be in the PvE option. It's like, what the heck? This is such an amazing change. But secretly, they made another change that was not an amazing change, and that was this. So they made it to where the Ancient Golem no longer is on a 1-day timer, but rather a 7-day timer. So, they increased the rewards on the golems. Everyone gets their own individual rewards now, which was an amazing change. That was the beginning of Season 9. And honestly, it increased the rewards quite a bit. If you split up the rewards that you get from killing it 10 ways, especially 10 ways, but even 6 ways, the rewards you get now from being as individuals is way better. The rewards are amazing. And you can't fight over the rewards. It's your rewards. You get your rewards. Now you can't trade, which is a bummer. And they just need to add a clan chest. I don't know why they're not adding a clan trade chest in the clan. It would be so easy to do. It would make so many people so happy. I'm just going to keep mentioning it over and over and over again until hopefully the devs add it. I don't think it'll be that much work for them to add a clan chest. They literally just have to make essentially a trading post that only people at a certain rank in the clan get access to. Or you make, 4 trading posts. You don't make them look like trading posts. That would look gross. But something like that, and you make one for each. Like, clan leaders can access all 4 of them. The advisors can access 3 of them, and so on and so forth. And the novices have access to 1. So, the novices can trade with each other and blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of ways to do it. It'd be amazing, but they haven't. So, trading, that was something in the beginning of Season 9 that they changed, where you can't use the golem to trade anymore. You obviously had to kill him before you could use him to trade, but it made people happy. But that's no longer the case. But the young golem is, other than that, is mostly improved, right? The rewards are better. You can get more clan runes. You can get better other types of things to make legendary weapons and legendary armor. So really just a fantastic change. But now they made it to once every 7 days. So overall, you're going to be able to get a lot less loot from the clan golem. Personally, guys, I do not think this is that big of a deal. I think they should have waited until they added new clan bosses. And it looks like, I don't know if this is true or not, but it looks like you can do they go on cooldown at the same time, or did they kill both of these at the same time? Because if that seems pretty lame if you can only do one. Well, anyways, I just think, well, it's going to motivate more people to try to beat the ancient golem, which is very difficult, and a lot of clans are struggling to do it. But it definitely increases the rewards. I don't know, guys. I just think that the rewards were so good for this that it kind of makes sense that they would want to nerf to where you can only do it once a week. So I'm not saying they should have done it this way. Oh, that's great. But I just think it kind of makes sense with them increasing the rewards that they would want this to not be something that people can just farm. Now, that being said, I do think they need to create a way for us to farm clan runes, or not clan runes, just runes in general, to keep up with the pay to wins. And this was a way to do that. So if they're going to cut this out, I think they need to find a way for free-to-play players to get runes, or a way for the rune hammer to work. So basically, my biggest problem with this change is just my problem with runes. It has nothing to do with the golem. I think the Keeper of the Portals is fine. That makes sense. They added the new armor that increases your damage against keepers, but at the same time, the armor is still not as probably good as Instigator or Dragon armor. So personally, I just don't know. I don't think it's worth it. So personally, I just don't know. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing with this, but I think that we should give them time to figure it out. Give them feedback. I think this was overall a change that gamers did not like, players did not like, but it was also, at some level, it is what it is. It's not that crazy that they would do this. It was kind of more crazy that they allowed us to get that much loot from the ancient golem every single day. That was actually crazier than them changing it to a 7-day. In my opinion, I don't know. You guys can put in the comments what you guys think. If y'all disagree with me, let me know. I do think that the rune problem is a problem, and I'm totally, I'm pitching to the devs. Gotta fix the rune situation in Frostborn. But as far as like a clan boss being reset every 7 days, that kind of makes sense. That's kind of the way they do these things. So, all right, what else? The other change, the other big change that actually happened in the very beginning, and the only reason I missed it is because I played the update before it was ready. And that was that the Forbidden Library is way more lucrative than I told you guys it was. The Forbidden Library, you can see here we're taking out the Curator for the first time. When I did this, you'll notice there's no chest, right? Can y'all see this? Is this visible? All right, so you'll see in the mini-map, there's no chest. You'll see that there's no chest anywhere. Like, none of these rooms have chests. As we go through all of these rooms, there's just zero chest. And that's not actually the way it was. I was playing it in the beta, and I just assumed that that's how it went. Also, the mobs, you know, they might have had a dispel here and there, and Flop Power was really excited about how awesome that was. And I was kind of like, it's not really worth looting their bodies. I'm just going for the magic pittance. Well, in reality, there's actually a ton of chests in here. Every room, you know, it's basically just like the archives. All the rooms have chests, and they have these quest storyline things. Just like, I mean, they had implemented that in time, but they hadn't added the chests yet. And so we didn't get to see the chests. We definitely didn't get to see the loot of those chests, and it's really quite rich. The chests were full of, apparently the chests are full of great stuff. And a team doing the Forbidden Library, apparently they all go home just with backpacks full of items and loot, and so. That was one thing that I just didn't know, because I had played, basically I had done the Forbidden Library to show you guys. I was so excited about showing you guys right away that I didn't realize the devs hadn't actually finished the Forbidden Library. And so we missed the fact that it was going to have loot. I just assumed it wasn't going to have loot, and that we really just needed to kill the bosses to get the magic pendants. But in addition to all of that, stayed the same. The magic pendants, killing this guy, the archivist, when he drops the staff and he drops his lame helmet. You still get all of that and all the magic pendants, just like you did. But in addition to getting all of those rewards, there's also chests, you know, spilled throughout the Forbidden Library, and that has really good loot. And so it really just makes the Forbidden Library that much more lucrative, which this kind of makes sense in the sense that you're doing the hardest challenge in Frostborn. So, you know, right now it looks pretty easy because we're using really good gear, and I'm a level 4 fire mage, which makes me do a crazy amount of damage. I just got immobilized and then killed. Wow. Okay, I actually never really paid attention to what happened, but I think I got hit by that orb. I think this orb hit me. It split up and hit us, and that thing just like destroyed me. So okay, so when you play against the archivist, I was wondering what hit me. It was this orb. I don't know how I missed that orb coming at me, but that definitely, if you don't dispel right away, you're screwed. So that was cool. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. But the point is, all of this is the same. The difference is that there's even more loot for you, and apparently even the mobs. So I wasn't even looting the mobs in this. Are they're far more lucrative than they used to be. Okay, we're about to kill an archivist, and so I'll show you the loot here. So these are the magic pendants I was talking about. This is really what I was going for. I kind of wanted his staff, a legendary staff, which is pretty decent weapon. Honestly, it has pretty good DPS, and then it also has clones that appear to do more damage. So if you're lucky with the clones, and honestly, even if you're just average luck, I'm pretty sure it does the highest damage for a mage in the game. We got some pretty lame stuff, but we got 7 of these pendants which is, if you guys have not seen my video on the legendary dragon armor, most of you have. It's already got like 10,000 views. But let me pull it up. Okay, so here we go. We're going fast. Not only am I fast, but I think it's fast forwarded. But look how I'm trying to get over through the Forbidden Library to the cache. So you got to go through all this, almost like this maze, and then cut through here, and then get to the cache. And so those pendants, once you get 30 of those magic pendants, then you can come in here and go into this cache. Which, if you guys have done Odin's, you've seen the wood cache, the steel cache, and the gold cache. They're a critical part of this game. And then you get to open this cache, and this cache is the best loot in the game. You can see we've got a lot of purple items, orichalcum, elixirs, just a lot of purple items, but the biggest one is the legendary dragon armor. So let me see if I can get that selected. Look how excited I am. It's hilarious. There we go. So here's the heavy dragon armor set. Take less damage when your health is high. Efficiency of healing, so that helps you keep your damage high. Bonus damage to keepers, bonus damage to players. Bonus damage to players is really important. And then the armor, it's already the best armor in the game, so to be able to add an extra 12 is significant. And then the armor itself has extra hit points. So it is really good armor, best PvP armor in the game. The problem is you have to get, there's heavy and there's medium and there's light, and so you got to get 4 pieces of the same set, and you can only open this every time you kill the bosses. It's like about 5 of those bosses. So if you kind of do the math, you're having to kill, let's see, you got to do it 12 times, which means you got to kill 60 Forbidden Library bosses. And if you have to kill 60 bosses, there's only 2, so that means you have to do it 30 times, which means you need 30 keys, which means you have to do the archives, normal archives, 30 times as well, or at least to kill Skull, to get the key. And then that means you have to do the Forge, or at least to the Whisper, 30 times. So half of the Forge and half of the 30 times. And then you've got to do the Sanctum 90 times, which a lot of us have already done the Sanctum 90 times, and we have so many Forge keys that's not that big of a deal. But and you're going to get crazy amount of loot from all the pendants and stuff you get from doing that. So you're going to get rich, and you're getting 3 full sets, theoretically, of legendary dragon armor. So really you probably could, to tone that down to just doing 10, really just 10, doing it 10 times and then trading whatever pieces you get for the equivalent of the other version. So if you get a medium dragon chest and you're wanting a heavy dragon chest, trading with someone who wants that medium dragon chest. But of course trading is dangerous and scary, and you can't do it with clans anymore, at least as easy. So you just have to know who to trust, which is all part of Frostborn. It's a crazy world out there. Frostborn is the wild. I've said this many times. Frostborn is the Wild West of gaming. It's just not something that the devs have set everything up for you that's easy. You have to kind of like fend for yourself, make some mistakes, lose some stuff. But if you really did this 30 times, like if you did everything I just mentioned, you'd be so unbelievably rich in this game, from all the loot from doing the Sanctum 90 times, the Forge 30 times, the Archives 30 times. If you follow my tutorials on how to do that, you'll be so rich in this game you won't even know what to do with it all. Or I guess you could just turn it all in for points and have some, a couple quite a few, I don't know, 2 or 3 level 4 classes, which would be pretty sweet. So, but that would be quite the grind to do all that. But you get some legendary dragon armor, so it might be worth it. I'm definitely wanting that, this legendary dragon armor right here, the heavy dragon armor. It sounds awesome. It's the best armor in the game, best armor for PvP at least, and it's pretty awesome. I wish. It's interesting because it isn't. I mean, there are some classes they're gonna prefer other sets, which honestly isn't that bad. I kind of like it when there's a diversity of what is good. Fire Mage is still going to wear normal dragon armor because they want to get that plus 20% damage. Now, it is worth noting that the light dragon armor gives plus 20%, or sorry, 10% to players, and the medium dragon armor also gives 10% to players. So it's a little bit more than what I was just showing you, but it's still not 20%. So there's going to be like a Fire Mage who's probably going to be like, I just need the damage. I just need to get that extra 20% damage. Obviously, a healer is going to do this. The cooldown of healing spells and the effectiveness of healing. This is an amazing set for a healer. They're really trying to bring the healer back, which I'm personally really excited about. But then there's going to be people that want that lifesteal, the 2% lifesteal. That's going to be huge. Getting 2% lifesteal for an archer is going to really make this armor amazing. But again, there's going to be like an assassin who just needs to evaporate someone. They might just go with normal dragon armor so they can get that plus 20% damage. And so they don't care as much about the lifesteal because they just need to kill someone quickly. So I'm a little bit digressing. I'm kind of getting distracted by dragon armor. At the end of the day, the change that I wanted to tell you guys about was that I told you guys, really it's the change is to be expected, and that there are chests in the Forbidden Library. But because I had showed you guys the Forbidden Library and even commented on the fact that there weren't any chests and that it wasn't worth killing people if you didn't have to, I'm taking that back. That's wrong. The chests are good. They've got good loot. The monsters have better loot than what you saw me do. And I'm going to have videos coming soon of me doing the new archives. I want to get really good at it, and I'm going to make. So I made all those videos about how to do Sanctum and the Forge and the archives and all that stuff on the main channel, and I put all this work into like zooming out all these maps and stuff. I'm going to try to get those maps again and do a gameplay version of that, which will not be as good, but it should still be really quality. So I'll let you guys know when I'll release that video as soon as I do that. I just wanted to let you guys know now, just in case that was like, oh man, I don't want to go do the Forbidden Library. If this pushes you over the edge, it's like, do it. It's going to make you so rich. Go do it. All right, guys. See you next time.